This is going to be a really quick stream, but I was at my desk working and this popped on my feed. So I just wanted to watch it with you guys really quick. We have a toxicology report for Alexee Trevizo's newborn. And we're just going to react to court TV. You know, they also have a panel of guests as well, including Ben Chu. So let's just watch it together really quick. I think it's only about like 20 minutes long. I wasn't going to stream today. My dogs are sick right now. We're trying to figure out what's wrong with them. But yeah, it's just going to be a really quick stream because tomorrow, I was going to stream tomorrow for the Sarah Boone pre-trial stuff if that's going to be aired. So let's just do this. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys had a good weekend. And hello. Honestly, like it's a whole mess here right now. The lighting's all messed up, and it's because I wasn't planning on streaming today. But here we are.
Involving a 19-year-old. Okay, she seems younger than she actually is when she speaks. Maybe has had a little bit of a sheltered life. I don't know. She's 19. Gives birth to a child. I like how that Vinny mentions that though. If she's had like a shelter life or something, because she certainly does lack some sort of maturity, especially in her response. I'm talking about Alexee Trevizo and the body cam footage. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's just something about her where it's just like either like barely like immature, maybe like what Vinny says, maybe she just doesn't have like, you know, maybe she just has really sheltered life or something like that. Or, you know, maybe just really cold. I don't know. There's just something about her in the body cam footages and in the security cam footage as well, where it's kind of like, it just something about her just seems a little bit off. Hi, Jane. Hi, Melissa. Stuck in the pandemic with you. Julie. Hello. Oh, you're from Seattle? Oh, I want to go back to Seattle. We're supposed to make a trip down there at some point. In the hospital bathroom. By herself. She's in a hospital. She goes in the bathroom, gives birth, then wraps the child in plastic, puts the child in the trash, covers it with more plastic. And
she is in the hospital bathroom by herself, but keep in mind that her mom checked up on her a couple of times. Hospital staff checked up on her a couple of times. And even in the hospital bathroom, we saw the footage where you see there's like a call button. So if you're in the bathroom, and I think Alexee Trevizo, if you guys, I haven't uploaded this video yet. It's coming up like in a couple minutes. But Alexee Trevizo was interviewed by one of the hospital staff because hospital staff had to take some information from her. And the hospital staff was like, did your baby take a breath? And Alexee Trevizo said that, you know, she ran in the bathroom. She thought she had to poop. She was on the toilet and everything just came out all at once. But remember, right next to the toilet, what is there? There's a call button right next to the toilet. So yeah, she was in the bathroom by herself, but it's not like she didn't have access to health care.
The child is dead. Now she's charged with murder. And we're all trying to figure out this case. Like,
hey, Jen.
How does this happen? How she's in a hospital, for goodness sake. She's in the hospital. They didn't know that she was in labor? She didn't like call out for a little bit of help? I don't understand it. No one understands it. Take a listen. Here's the charge nurse who was interviewed by police at the scene.
She had taken it and put it in the regular trash, and there's still trash all around the baby. She put it right in the trash can. Then she twisted it and wrapped it underneath him and then set the baby in the bottom. Then she put paper towels on top and then 2 wadded up trash cans or liners. They were clean on top of that, and then she placed a brand new clean liner in the trash can like it was ready to take trash.
Yeah, see, I don't know. When I hear all that, all the steps that she took to conceal her pregnancy, all the stuff she took to conceal her baby, it just looks really bad for her. Oh my goodness. Hi from Australia. Hi, Trinade. How are you doing today? Hey, Sean, how's it going? Plenty of kids around the school knew, but they aren't criminals. Yeah, who said they were criminals? I agree with that. My nephew's mom was screaming, I have to poop right before she started pushing, so that checks out to me. Doesn't mean he's innocent. Who, the boyfriend? I don't know why the boyfriend would be dragged to jail. Of course it means what would we be charged with? Even if he knew that she was pregnant, you know, unless you find text messages that he was saying to like, okay, get rid of the baby somehow. Like, I don't know. Like, unless I'm waiting for more evidence to come out. I don't think we should start saying you should be charged, you should be charged, you should be charged until more evidence comes out. I think right now, definitely Alexee Trevizo, because she admitted to putting the baby in the trash. And we're trying to figure out whether or not the baby was alive when she did that.
That's what I found.
Yeah, so you said cold and blue already?
Cold and blue already. His temperature was like 95. No signs of life, no breathing, no respirations, no heartbeat, nothing, no movement whatsoever.
And a couple days ago, we read the autopsy report, and we reacted to Court TV as well. Cause of death was listed entrapment.
Whoever.
So her name's Alexee Trevizo. Now, we spoke with her attorney.
Oh, I don't have the chat up. Hold on.
And long conversation with him. And it seems they believe that the hospital is responsible here for what happened. It's
Loading. Hello? Is it my internet? Do I have internet right now? I don't know. My internet's been a little bit wonky the past couple of days.
that the hospital
Hold on, let's see.
is responsible here for what happened. It's
Oh, I don't know. Oh, maybe the stream is over. Hold on, give me a second. Go on Court TV's page. Dun, dun,
tied
dun,
in a plastic
dun, dun,
bag.
dun.
Who perhaps, according to the defense, they may go this way, caused the death of this child. So we got to take a look at the autopsy results and take a look. The cause of death here was asphyxia, suffocation, strangulation by entrapment. Manner of death, homicide. How the injury occurred. Child was tied in a plastic bag. Now, in this autopsy, they said, yeah, there was air in the lungs. The baby took breaths. So how is it not murder? Well,
By the way, is the audio okay? Yeah, the defense is going to try to blame the hospital. They have some nerve blaming the hospital. That's what I'm thinking. Unless they have some big evidence that they're sitting on and it's going to show that the hospital is somehow responsible. But I don't know, man. Like, ugh. I mean, obviously, like when you're being charged with something, you're going to find everything that you can in order to explain yourself, in order to defend yourself. But yeah, I don't know. It just sounds really bad. But, you know, maybe they got something. We'll wait, I guess.
tonight we're going to take a look at the toxicology report. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I can't explain it to you, but caffeine, presumed positive, morphine, 19 nanograms per milliliter, and we believe the morphine was administered by...
And I know her defense team is trying to say that, like, oh, they gave her painkillers and that's what's caused the baby to die. But, like, we were talking about this. When mothers give birth, sometimes you're given painkillers. Sometimes you're given morphine to help alleviate the pain a little bit. So, you know, obviously, I'm going to be very curious about, like, when the trial happens, when they have experts go up there and what the expert's going to say. You know, the expert's going to be like, oh, hey, the amount of morphine we gave her, it's a normal amount, you know? That's a nothing. Or maybe they'll find their own expert. The defense is going to say, oh, that amount of morphine they gave her, oh, that's excessive. So I don't know. I don't know much about this morphine amount or anything like that. But I Googled this term earlier, phentermine. That's like the weight loss thing that I guess Alexee was taking. Phentermine. Extra weight loss complex. So remember, she was talking to one of the nurses, and it was either the nurse or one of the X-ray, or maybe the X-ray technician. But she was like, hey, what happens if you like stop taking your birth control and you start taking weight loss medication? The nurse is like, what? Why are you asking me this?
the hospital. Then phentermine.
Hi, Jeannie.
420 nanograms per milliliter. What does this mean? What does this mean? I need an expert. Let's bring in our guest to help analyze these results. Joining us in Barrington, Rhode Island, board-certified forensic pathologist, Dr. Priya Banerjee. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm trying to understand the toxicology tonight. This is brand new
Vinny.
for us. I spoke with the defense
Explain
counsel.
to us.
He was talking about the morphine, this 19 nanograms per milliliter. What does that tell you about what happened to this baby?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a complex picture. You know, we have to take sort of forest and trees. I mean, we're looking, the toxicology is part of the puzzle.
Okay.
Now, I think you're correct that the morphine was given in the setting of her back pain. That was her chief complaint. Now, that's still a therapeutic level. You know, what goes into the mom goes into the baby, right? So that's how we know.
So when she says therapeutic level, she means like it's like a normal amount. It's not an amount that's like excessive in a way that like the hospital staff may have like fucked up.
That the baby even got it.
So is that, you say, a therapeutic level?
Someone said crooked wall frames. How is that drawing your attention right now? Listen, maybe she's in an earthquake area, okay? I forgot what it says she's from. Maybe she just had an earthquake recently. She didn't have time to fix it yet, okay? She has an interview with Court TV. She busy.
Level, could that cause problems for the child? Because, again, the defense may very well argue that the morphine caused the child to die after taking 1 or 2 breaths, whatever their expert is going to say. Is
right. I mean, these are very complex cases, and I haven't even reviewed like the autopsy itself. With that caveat, though, could it have impacted a newborn's breathing? Potentially, but you have to remember that, you know, like after a C-section, I received other opioids, right, for pain, and that breast milk was still getting into the baby. So I don't think they would have given her anything to harm the baby.
Okay,
now,
so we're thinking.
Could it have impeded breathing? Potentially, but you know, you can't ignore that the baby was very, very like carefully disposed of.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In a trash can.
Right? She didn't. I think her reaction and
she cleaned it up.
disposal of the baby is the most horrifying part of this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And not calling out for help and not saying anything. That's a
right.
big part of this.
Baby, I think, you know, then she should have brought it out to the nurses, etc. But, you know, that's where we get into the nuances of the case. Did the baby cry? Did it not? I do want to put out there, though, that the baby got CPR, I think.
I think that's actually incorrect. I don't think the baby got CPR. So far, what we heard from the hospital staff was they didn't attempt to revive the baby because you can tell that the baby was dead. Yeah, they didn't even attempt to, but that's from what I remembered.
If I'm not mistaken, that's a very critical element to clarify, because that can artificially inflate the lungs or get air in the stomach. So you don't want to overcall that, you know, and we know she's already at the hospital.
But that's an interesting point that she makes too. Darkle said, well, my second kiddo, sorry, the font is really small right now. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm having a hard time reading chat a little bit. When my second kiddo was born, he came out blue, floppy, not breathing. The team immediately started rubbing him and tapping him to get him to take his first breath. There was no sound at first. That's what I heard as well. I hear that sometimes when babies are born, they don't immediately cry right away. Sometimes it takes a little bit. So it's possible maybe when the baby came out and the baby was live, it didn't have a chance to like really start breathing yet. And she immediately just like put the baby in the plastic bag. Yeah.
They're going to try to resuscitate a baby, you know, not just assume it's dead. So I just want to put these little caveats out there. These are not straightforward cases at all.
No, and I expect a huge battle of the experts if and when this goes to trial. Absolutely. I'm just trying to get a little more perspective here. Now, is it phentermine? I don't.
Yep, it's phentermine.
Phentermine, 420 nanograms per milliliter. Is that a lot? Should someone who's pregnant be?
That's the weight loss medication. But here's the thing. I also brought this up too. And, you know, it seems like she's resourceful because she was able to maybe get on birth controls. She was able to find herself some weight loss medication without having her mom know. So, I mean, kind of seems like a resourceful person.
Taking that, can that impact the child as well?
I mean, anything the mom takes impacts the child. You have to remember that. Now, this is normally a diet drug.
Mm-hmm.
If you recall back in the day, fen, that sort of combination that's no longer used for other medical complications, that it was part of that combination. So, you know, why is she on a diet drug while she's pregnant? It's
and how does she get it?
probably to conceal the pregnancy. You know, I bet
That's what one of the nurses said too.
her friends or family asked, you know, she's pretty petite from her pictures and even now. Right, she's only 5 feet tall and she looks like a slim build. So I'm sure her stomach became prominent. Now, maybe she's saying I'm gaining weight and that's why the phentermine's in her system. This is available. I even checked before I logged on, like online.
Oh, wait. Lady Libra says they work in labor and delivery. Can you tell us about the umbilical cord? What are your thoughts on like the thickness of the umbilical cord? I've heard different things from different experts now. Some people say that's like really easy to rip. Others say it's actually really hard to rip, that even if you do like surgical scissors. sometimes a bit of a struggle. Yeah, I'm just very curious about the umbilical cord.
You can buy it without a
You just rub it with your
prescription.
hands?
So it's a traditional diet drug.
Yeah,
Hi,
and
Rita.
what's not clear in the case is whether or not she knew she was pregnant.
Right.
And, you know, she's 19. Does she think she's gaining weight?
I don't know. I feel like ultimately it doesn't really matter. The fact that if she knew that she was pregnant, if her mom knew she was pregnant, if the boyfriend knew she was pregnant, I feel like at the end of the day, none of that really matters. I mean, it could make her case look worse, in my opinion, if she definitely knew she was pregnant for sure. But I think at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because the baby was still found in the trash bin. But what really matters is whether or not the baby drew breath, because then that's going to determine if she's going to be charged fully or not, right? It's really tough. You think she did it with her teeth.
So she's taking diet pills, and then what impact does that have on the child? What impact does the morphine? A lot of questions in this one. Dr. Priya Banerjee, great to see you tonight. Thank you so much for making a house call.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking too, because I know the internet's going back and forth with arguing whether or not she knew, whether or not the mom knew. It's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why we're focusing on that. We'll just wait until more information comes out. Maybe there'll be some text messages that she has with her friends where she's like, oh my God, I'm pregnant, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to do, da, da, da. Like, I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see. Or if she has classmates, you know, they're willing to testify to say that like, oh, you know, she told me directly and blah, 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 blah. Or just says either way, lock her up. I honestly think even the baby wasn't breathing, she still should be charged. She even wanted her baby. That's what it seems to me. You see new photos and videos. She looks pregnant to me, like no question.
Take care. Good night.
All right.
All right, now we got Ben Chu coming on. Where's Ben Chu at? Oh, look at Ben Chu. He's smiling. Hi, Ben Chu. And some other people on here. Okay.
First, anyway. What are you thinking here, Judge? This case, to me, especially after speaking with Alexee's defense attorney, they're gonna say it's the hospital's fault. The hospital.
They already
You're
did.
in the hospital. They know that she's pregnant. She goes to the bathroom. She's in labor. They gave her morphine. They're gonna say that the hospital killed this baby.
She panicked and did the wrong thing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Here, I don't know. I keep going back and forth a little bit. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe she didn't know. Like, oh, maybe like she didn't know, and maybe the baby was born, but like it was a stillborn, maybe. But I don't know. I'm like when I keep watching the videos and then considering the timeline, it's like she told the hospital staff that she was no way she was pregnant. She was a virgin. Blah 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 blah. And she was taking weight control medication, which like seems like, you know, she was trying to hide the pregnancy because she was probably gaining weight. And also like, how did she get the weight control medication? You know, if it was like, if she was getting weight control medication for, you know, just for gaining weight, then like, why would she hide it from her mom? Right. Because I'm sure her mom probably doesn't know about the weight control, the weight medication. I don't know, maybe she does. But like also the time frame as well. The fact that like the small time frame that she was in there, because she said that like, when she went to the bathroom, she sat on the toilet, she thought she had to poop, and it all kind of just came out. That meant she had like a, you know, small little window of time where she had to clean everything up and dispose the baby in the trash. And she was able to do it very quietly, and people kept knocking on the door, and she was like telling them she's fine, she's fine. She kept flushing the toilet. I don't know, Ben. Like that to me it just seems pretty clear cut that she knew that she was pregnant. She was trying to hide the baby. She gave birth secretly in the bathroom, not in front of the doctors. When doctors came and called and asked if she needed help, she ignored them. She said she was good. She was fine. She was flushing the toilet. She cleaned it up really quickly. And then when she finally ultimately opened the door, she just acted like nothing happened, wiped her hands clean, threw the trash away. And I feel like I was starting to think so much into it that it was just starting to convolute everything. I feel like it's pretty clear and cut, but I mean, I'm trying to have an open mind because you never know what's gonna come out. But I don't know. I feel like I want to stop overthinking this. The more I overthink it, the more it's just fucking with my mind even more.
And you know, Vinny, I think that that's
no, actually. So Lady Lieber was like, "Does anyone know why the boyfriend and his mother went to the ER for back pain? That seems odd to me." When I was listening to the interview, it seems like initially it was the mom that came in. I'm not sure if the stepdad came in too. But when the whole thing went down, that's when I think the mom called the boyfriend and his mom to come. probably was like, hey, did you guys know that Alexee was pregnant? Like, yeah, we're at the hospital right now. Like, you guys should come here. So that's what I remember from the interview or like the body cam footages. So
Wholly expected. There is, just
don't
as you
believe they were
indicated,
there
going to be a
initially
battle
for
of
the
the
back pain.
experts in this case. You're going to have the defense that essentially has the responsibility of convincing a single juror that they should at least not buy whatever the prosecutor's story is. Because remember, the prosecution has the burden of proof. They must prove beyond a reasonable doubt every essential element of the crimes charged. And I believe there are two, the murder and the tampering. And all the defense has to do, if anything, is to find one holdout. And they will no doubt rely on that argument, positioning or transitioning the responsibility to the hospital in an effort to achieve that, while the prosecution must convince every single juror that the defendant is in fact guilty. Now, what I will say is, just as the doctor said in the prior segment, there's something to be said for this marriage of, criminal act and criminal mind. And there's going to be, I think, some considerable attention paid to the level and effort that was or allegedly taken to conceal the body of the baby.
I know what they're going to say there. She's in a panic. She's 19.
You don't think the juror forgive this, but then Casey Anthony happened. The Casey Anthony thing is because they started giving doubt in the juror's mind that it could potentially have been the dad that was involved, or that it was an accident and that Kaylee drowned in the pool. So I think initially when you look at the Casey Anthony thing, I'm like, yeah, I would have thought she did it too. But yeah, I think at some point during the trial, they probably started getting some doubts because like her attorney, probably really convincing. But yeah, I don't want to Casey Anthony. I don't talk about that one. No kidding. Went to prom and everything, all smiles. I think that she convinced her loved ones that she didn't know she was pregnant. She gave birth and it was a stillborn. And that kind of puts her in a victim perspective, right? Like, oh my God, you're like a victim. We feel bad for you. You lost your child. I think that the reason why maybe they went to prom, or like why the mom believes her and the mom was like defending her, because I think that she convinced them that the baby was a stillborn. So I guess like until evidence comes out, maybe it'll convince them otherwise. But you tend to believe your family, right? You tend to believe your loved ones. You don't want to think that they're lying to you. But as soon as she met up with the defense attorney, that's when we start hearing, maybe the defense attorney or maybe it was the mom was like, oh, maybe it's the hospital's fault. Maybe the hospital did this. There's no way it could have been my daughter. So I don't know.
Her mother's in the room. She's like, oh all this is happening at once. How would you react, ladies and gentlemen, if you were 19 years old and you didn't know you were pregnant? All of a sudden you're giving birth and you don't know what to do. You just kind of, I can hear it already. I know the way it's going to play. Let me do this though.
Darko said, but if she knew she was in labor, I wouldn't think she would have her mom bring her. That's a really good point. We definitely did consider that. I think she was just in so much pain that she was like, you know what? I can't do this. Maybe she considered telling her mom, but I don't know. When you're in that much pain, she probably thought she was going to die or something. It probably was really painful for her. And so that's why she probably was like, you know what, let me go to the doctors, but let me just figure out later. Because sometimes when people do things like this, they don't really think ahead, right? They just go with it and see how long they can kind of like lie for. So it's possible that maybe she was like, okay, maybe I'll tell mom, but let me just get to the hospital first because it's like really painful. Okay, I'm at the hospital right now. Oh, but I don't know if I'm ready to tell mom yet. I don't know if I want to tell the healthcare workers. Like, oh, mom is still in the room. Like, I don't know. I think that like she was just in so much pain. That's why she was like, I'm going to go to the doctors. Maybe she considered sneaking out. Maybe she considered asking her boyfriend to drive her. Maybe that wasn't an option. Yeah, I don't know. Oh.
Take a listen, and Ben, I want you to listen closely to this, and I want your take on whether or not you think Alexee Trevizo in this video, this body cam video, seems sympathetic at all. Let's watch.
I'm sorry. He came out and he didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But
I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
It was not right.
I feel like the more I watch this, the worse it's just like, it just looks. I don't know. I feel like she's so quick to defend herself that like the baby wasn't crying. Nothing was crying. Like, I feel like her concern is not for the baby at the time. It's just like concern for herself, making sure that like she doesn't get in trouble for this.
Tell me the truth. It was not crying or nothing.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
Like, I don't know, like, she's so quick to defend herself. I feel like I would just be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know what to do. I gave birth and, like, I didn't even know I was pregnant. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of it just doesn't really link up. Sorry. Stevie, stick right now. Hold on, Steve.
You guys have, I'm the charge nurse here. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months? Nothing was crying. Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail? Nothing was crying.
What do you think, Ben?
Vinny, I think it is sympathetic, and I think she seems much younger than her 19 years.
Do you think it's enough that a jury would understand why someone in a hospital delivering a baby doesn't call out for help? And then somehow, I don't know what happened to the umbilical cord. I have no idea how that went down. But then puts the baby in the trash? Do you think sympathetic enough that they can overlook that part and give her a pass on the death of the child?
Well, these, as you pointed out, Vinny, these are unconscionable facts. But to her Honor's point, she only needs to convince one juror. One sympathetic juror is really all she needs. So I think a lot will depend on how the evidence comes in.
Professor, what are your thoughts here?
So my thoughts are the video is terribly important because it preserves her youth, right? By the time she gets to trial, she's going to be older. She's going to be a mature woman. Who knows how long it's going to take to get in front of a judge and jury.
Well, so far, initially it was scheduled for October, but it got, they asked for continuance, and now it's been pushed to January 2024. So I don't know if she's going to be a woman by then. We'll see.
And so that does preserve that argument. I think it comes down to which do you believe, that she was a scared little girl and acted, who knows how we would act, or was it a cover-up, right? That's 90% of our solutions are, look at the cover-up, look at Al Capone, it was the taxes. We find some other way to prove that somebody was guilty, right? Evidence of guilt, running away from the scene of the crime, the cover-up. That's the whole case. And I agree with the judge.
Errol says these zoos are such Sims falling for crocodile tears, pathetic, waste of poses. I don't think they're falling for her act. I think they're trying to interpret it a way a jury would see it. I agree with that. I think for sure, I don't think Ben True really knows the ins and out about like what we know so far. I think they're just kind of reacting like a little bit. Maybe they know like a little bit of background information, but I think they're just trying to stay as objective as possible. And I agree, just like interpreting how like a jury would see it, because he's saying that like, you know, it only takes one jury to fall for this, and you know, it's possible that she might not get convicted.
Judge, you know, if the jury is split, she wins. If the jury is split 11-1, she wins. You got to convince all 12 that she was hiding something because she knew what she did was wrong.
Ben, what are your thoughts about the hospital here?
And then someone did mention that they thought maybe she could have cut the umbilical cord. You know how like sometimes like paper towel dispensers will have like the jagged edge thing? But I don't think I see it here. I feel like I don't think she'd be able to do that, to like cut the umbilical cord on like the paper towel dispenser thing. But I feel like it's one of those things you just like rip out. I don't think there's like a jagged edge right there.
That there was negligence on the part of the hospital, but and that may be enough to get her that one juror she needs.
Yeah, and Judge, when I spoke with her attorney, he was very specific. He said about 45 minutes before she makes that run to the bathroom where she makes a delivery, the pregnancy results were on the computer at the nurse's station. And it wasn't clear whether or not it had been read or they knew or didn't know, but they did a pregnancy test on her. So the results are there 45 minutes before she runs to the bathroom to give birth. What does that mean? Is this going to be enough to kind of shift the burden of who's in charge of this situation?
When he says, okay, so I remember they did two. They did like a urine one and they did a blood one. So I'm curious if it was like, was it the urine one that showed positive? Because like, didn't they do the urine one? And they're like, okay, well, let's do the blood one too, just so we were like 100% sure.
Is it the mother carrying the child? Is it the hospital caring for this young woman who's carrying a child?
I genuinely think that from a defense perspective, it's absolutely going to be the responsibility of the hospital. And that is no doubt going to be the consistent refrain throughout the trial, that the hospital was aware. They failed to make their patient aware. So there's that duty of responsibility to your patient that the hospital is going to have allegedly lapsed on. And as a result, it set in motion a series of events leading to the decision making of an immature 19-year-old in a traumatic and heightened emotional state to make a snap decision, which, you know, some adults far more mature than that would have struggled to make perhaps an appropriate decision. Now, that's not to suggest that, you know, that is a winning argument for all 12 jurors. But what I will say is that I can absolutely imagine and see the defense making a really firm argument to shift this responsibility squarely into the lap of the hospital.
I don't know, man. Unless they got something huge, something big, I feel like the jury's just going to roll their eyes just like we are right now.
At the same time, you're going to have a prosecution that says, just as the professor said here, that the video evidence is really telltale evidence. It shows an individual in what seems like an emergency situation actually grabbing a part of their body seemingly to prevent some activity, and that as a result of whatever happened behind those doors or that door in that bathroom, what was the result of that was a deceased full-term baby that made that.
Yeah, because let's say she didn't know she was pregnant, right? She didn't know she was pregnant. She goes to the hospital, back pain, and she's like, oh my God, I have to poop. She runs to the bathroom and she sits on the toilet, and then she thought she's pooping, but then a baby comes out. Why would your first reaction be, oh my God, let me just hide it? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. No, that's why I think she knew. That's why I think she knew. Why would that be your first reaction? Why wouldn't your first reaction be like, oh my God, like hit the call button, nurses, mom, like, oh my God, the baby came out. Like, why would that be your first reaction? Oh, let me just hide it. Let me just clean everything up. Let me rip the umbilical cord. Let me just place the baby in a bag, twist it, put it in the trash bin. Yeah, I just don't buy it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was giving her way too much. I was giving her way too much benefit of the doubt. I don't know. I was trying to be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I need to wait for more information. But like, I don't know, man. I think I'm just like, the more I keep watching the footages, the more I keep watching her response, I'm just like, I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it.
That person responsible for that, and they're going to argue that she knew what she was doing and she acted accordingly, and therefore that marriage of that criminal act and criminal mind is made, and that we need not establish motive. We don't even have to. We'd love to know the why, and we may never know the why, but it's enough that the elements are proven. That's what I think.
I think they could argue the why is right in the hospital room. Her mother's right there. She doesn't want to admit to her mother that she was sleeping with her boyfriend. I think that's where they're going to go. We shall see. We're just at the beginning of all this.
All right, that was a quick little video. I just wanted to watch with you guys. So it's the way she secured the bag and hid the baby for me. If she panicked, she would have simply left the baby on the floor. Hospital staff would have found him. She was more afraid of her mother than the baby. But Alexee's going to go to university, which means she will get off just like Brooke Skylar Richardson. I mean, we don't know because like Alexis Avila, what did she get again? Like 18 years. The reason why Brooke got off was because she was able to get an expert to say that the baby was not alive when she gave birth. And then I think the initial autopsy report, the person that said that like there was smoke in the baby's lungs, I think they end up retracting that. So that's why Skylar Richardson got off. So 16 years? I don't know. So I thought it was 20, 30 years. Someone told me it was like 18 years or 19 years, 16 years. I don't know. It's a lot of years. It's a lot of years. Her response disturbs me. The hospital didn't put the baby in the trash, though. Her mom is something that could be why she's hiding. I just joined. Did we talk about the wrongful death suit? I saw that in the chat, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me that her and her team, her defense team, would put in the wrongful death suit against the hospital. I mean, because they're trying to blame the hospital, right? So they got to follow through 100%. Hi, Akira. How are you doing today? Alexee's 19 years old. Yeah, she's 19 years old, but she ain't like 19. I don't know. No, she seems really immature for 19 years old. At the same time, like who throws babies in the trash? Like I feel like even if you're 12 years old, you would know better. Anyways, the other girl got 16 here. Let me just look it up real quick. Alexis, what's her name again? Alexis Avila. Sentencing. Alexis Avila. I think it was 18 years. According to CBS, a New Mexico teenage mom was sentenced Monday to a mandatory 18 years in prison for tossing her newborn son into a trash dumpster behind a shopping center. And keep in mind, Alexa Avila's newborn, thank goodness, survived, did not die. But yeah, I was actually really surprised that she got 18 years. I thought they were going to go easy on her or something. But maybe when she testified on the stand, judge was like, But we watched a little bit of that. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. So this is just a quick live stream. Sorry, we're just popping in and out really quick. I gotta keep an eye on my dogs really quick, and then I gotta go back to working on stuff. But yeah, we watched the court TV stuff. If you missed it earlier, the stream will be live right afterwards. If you guys have anything else you want to chat about, join the Discord. Feel free. We do have a true crime section. If there's any news updates or anything like that, please just put it in there. Tomorrow, I'm gonna plan on stream. I want to cover Sarah Boone stuff. I don't know. Her pretrial stuff is supposed to happen tomorrow. We'll see if it happens or not. So stand by for that one. Actually, let me see if I can find wrongful. What's it called again? Wrongful death against the hospital. Is there anything where I can read about that? So the lawyer already filed a wrongful death suit on behalf of Alexee and her. Wait, on behalf of Alexee and her boyfriend. Do we have any information on that? Jeannie! Thanks, Dee. Rudy. Who is Rudy? I don't know who Rudy is. Give me a quick TLDR who Rudy is while I'm trying to find something. Let me see. Wrongful death suit. Yeah, if I get more information about the wrongful death suit, is this it? Oh, is this it right here? Hold on, let me just look up the case really quick. Case lookup. New Mexico. Your mom had you when she was 17, took responsibility for what she did, raised me. You're 35. She's not my only mother, but my best friend. The guy that went missing for 8 years. Oh. But his mom was allegedly hiding and abusing him the entire time. Oh my God. No, I've not heard about that. I might have seen thumbnails about that. Did they find him? Is he alive? Was lost in 2015, was just found. Benza says, y'all are her lawyer. How would you defend her? I mean, blaming the hospital. That seems, I don't know. That seems to be the thing right now. I feel like, I don't know how you would sleep at night, but yeah, blame the hospital, I guess. Okay, so I'm trying to find the glasses on. Oh my God, they dragged her boyfriend into this? into the I could find it. This is something else, right? Open tabs. Gonzalez, tampering with evidence. Evidence. Tampering with evidence. I can't find the wrongful death lawsuit. It's on the Reddit though, it seems. Am I just not looking up correctly? Try searching the boyfriend's name. Oh god, there's too many people with last name Fierro. No, it's not popping up. I'll take a look at it, but yeah, I'll take a look at the wrongful thing, and I'll probably be alive tomorrow. Because I'm pretty sure the Sarah Boone stuff is gonna go down. So she made him take the husband. How old? Mom had him hostage. Oh god. He's alive. His mom said he's nonverbal, but he's not. He speaks when she's not there. Oh my god. That sounds horrible. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it. I'll see if Law and Crime reported anything about it, and I'll do some reading. Oh, I found the 48 Hours episode on what's her face? Oh my god, the ballerina girl that we were covering, the one that said that she had a black eye, and she said that her boyfriend or her husband came at her with like karate chopping blade motion and circular motion and ran up to her with a ball. I don't know. I found the 48-hour episode. I'm gonna watch it really quick. He's 25 now. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know too much about that. All right, guys. Yeah, quick stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for watching. We'll be live probably tomorrow. If you're new here, join the Discord. If you're interested in the vlogs, that's why I just posted the Yokohama vlog. That's up now from our Japan trip. So thanks for popping in. I'll see you guys a different day, and happy Monday.